Всем привет! So, since we have several videos focusing on that same worksheet and we go 2 lines in each video and I translate the sentences and I explain how I do it, I decided to record this kind of like generic intro. So just figure out which set we're working on. It's in the title and let's keep working.
If you like it, please click like. If it's useful, put up a line. If you love it, hit subscribe. Like me, подпишись и комментарий напиши.
Okay, here is our next set. So here we have, why are you eating pasta with a spoon? And I have a spoon right here. So here we were working with the word spoon. So why are you? You is a personal pronoun, so it means some kind of a case. Who is eating pasta with a spoon? You are. So that's our nominative. Pasta is also a noun, so the pasta, a pasta. So it needs some kind of a case. What we're eating is being eaten. So it's a direct object. So that will be our accusative. And we already have an instrumental here because we're basically using it as a tool for eating. And here we have, I have a spoon right here. Remember, in English, we can follow the logic of who does the action, who has a spoon right here. I do. But in Russian, that specific construction is very kind of like weird, where whoever has something, we need to use u plus genitive, so that I is not a subject of a sentence. And you remember spoon is the subject of a sentence here because it's whatever we have. I have a spoon. There you go. Okay, now let's translate it. And again, I will put words that need changes into cases. They might change, might not, but they need theoretically over here, and those that don't go over here. The word why, почему, is a question word, and it doesn't need any changes. Are you eating? So you is ты, and you are eating is ешь. Then we have the word pasta, and in Russian we can use 2 words for that. We can actually use the word pasta, and kind of younger people use it, or older people will use macaroni. So pasta is feminine, macaroni is plural. Then we have this with, and usually I translate it, yeah, in other sentences that we like with you, I translated. But remember, when we're using something as a tool, in English, you're also saying like with. I'm eating with a spoon, I'm thinking with my head. But in Russian, that with disappears when you're using something as a tool. So here, when we are using something as a tool, we don't need this with at all. And remember, we don't need a at all as well, because Russian doesn't use articles. So we still need the word ложка, the spoon, ложка. Okay, now let's put it together. So почему doesn't need to change, so почему. Почему. Ты is nominative, so no changes here. Ты are eating, ешь. And then we have you're eating pasta. So we put pasta in, or either one of those, yeah, into the accusative case. So let's take the word pasta, ends in a, and is above the line, so it's hard stays hard, a changes to u in accusative. So that will be pastu. And here we have macaroni. This is our plural form, so we need an accusative form. Remember, if it's a what, it's the same as nominative. If it's a who, it's the same as genitive. So macaroni, pasta cannot look you in the eye, so it's definitely nominative. So we go back to the default form, macaroni. Macaroni. And then we just have to put the word ложка into the instrumental case. We don't need anything else, remember? So ложка ends in a. So we go to the instrumental case. And hard stays hard, so it's above the line, it's ой. It might be affected by the 5-letter rule. If we drop a, we're left with the letter k. So the letter k is part of the 7-letter rule, but it is not part of the 5-letter rule. So that transformation does not apply. So we'll just use this ой. Почему ты ешь пасту or macaroni, ложк, and we replace a with ой, ложкой. Почему ты ешь пасту ложкой? Почему ты ешь макароны ложкой? And here we have, I have a spoon right here. Again, let's take our words first. Я is I. Have, this is the construction with есть. And remember, we also need у for that. And we have the word ложка. And here we have right here. That's an adverb, and it will be just вот тут. There are different ways to say it. I'm going to be using this one. Вот тут. Okay, now let's put it together. I needs to be in the genitive case. So we go to I, genitive, у меня. У меня. Then I have is the construction есть. Then I have a spoon, ложка, because it's nominative, no changes. And then right here, we also not need to change. Вот тут. У меня есть ложка вот тут. Now, it's very interesting that as soon as you are not emphasizing having something, like right here, we can say, I have a spoon right here. Then we'll use this construction. But if we say, I have a spoon right here, emphasizing something other than having a spoon, then we will not need есть. У меня ложка вот тут. I have a spoon right here. Okay, next set. There are beautiful parks in Moscow. And she lives in Moscow, and remember it was both prepositional, same case. Now, there are beautiful parks in Moscow. So there are is one of those constructions that we don't really need. They're just replaced with, either nothing or again with the word есть. And beautiful parks is something that's somewhere. So whatever is somewhere is our nominative, and beautiful goes with the word parks. So basically we're saying beautiful parks in Moscow. For she lives in Moscow, who lives in Moscow? The subject of a sentence, she does. That's our nominative. Nominative, she lives in Moscow. Okay, let's translate these sentences. Okay. So as I said, there are, we can translate as есть, and we might use it, might not use it. Then if you look up beautiful, that will be the word красивый, again, in its default form from the dictionary. Park is park. And then in Moscow, remember in the previous video, we looked at it. So it's our location, and we're using V because Moscow is a geographical location, but V itself doesn't change. And there we have Moskva. Okay, now let's put it together. So we're not translating. So we are starting with beautiful parks. So we need to put the word park into the plural. So when you look up the word park, the default form lands right here, has zero ending. So and it's above the line, so hard stays hard. We go here, and then we have but remember the word park ends in the letter K, and K is part of the 7-letter rule. So this transformation will happen парки. 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 So then the word красивый agrees with the word parks in gender number case, which is plural nominative. So we'll look up the word красивый, and it falls right here. It's above the line, hard stays hard, and it's true hard. It doesn't have any 7 or 5 letters in front of it. So we just go hard stays hard, we go to plural, and here we have which also might be affected. Now, if we drop the ending what's left is V. V is not part of the 5 or 7-letter rule, so this 7-letter transformation does not affect it. It stays уе. So we'll go красивые. Красивые парки есть. And then in Moscow, we'll say V and put Moskva into the prepositional form. We go to the prepositional. If feminine ends in a, we drop the a and replace it with ye. So Moskv. We dropped that a and replaced with ye. Красивые парки в Москве. Красивые парки есть в Москве. В Москве есть красивые парки. Either way, it will mean there are beautiful parks in Moscow. And the last sentence here, she lives in Moscow. So we'll need she, она, lives, живет, in, в, and Москва. Again, these are default forms. And to say she lives in Moscow, we will say она живет в, and then put Москва into the prepositional case. Again, в Москве. Она живет в Москве. Okay, so we are done with the next set of sentences. And as always, if you have any questions, if something was not clear, please put it in the comments. And for the next time, focus on the next 2 lines or 4 sentences of this worksheet. And as always, all materials can be found in the description to this video. Keep learning Russian. Пока-пока.
If you like it, please click